Rear-end chatter after fluid service is a fairly common occurrence, and oftentimes it's caused by something as simple as the incorrect fluid in the differential. In this Around the Wheel, we'll talk about how to service limited slip differentials correctly and avoid the most common mistakes that lead to comebacks. Before you can choose the right fluid or service procedure, you have to know what type of limited slip differential you're actually working with. Obviously, from the outside of the housing, most of them, look the same, but internally, they can be very different. One of the most common designs you will see is the clutch type limited slip differential, like the Eaton Posi or Yukon Duragrip. These units use friction plates and preload springs to limit wheel slip. They're widely used in OE applications, especially in trucks and performance vehicles. The thing you need to understand is these clutches are extremely sensitive to fluid friction characteristics. When the wrong fluid is used, the clutches can either grab too aggressively or slip too easily. That is when you start to hear chatter on slow turns, feel binding in parking lots, or see accelerated clutch wear. Another common design is a gear type or helical limited slip differential, like the Detroit TrueTrack. Instead of clutches, these units use worm or helical gears to bias torque to the wheels with traction. Because there are no friction plates inside, these differentials do not rely on friction modifiers in the same way that a clutch-style posi would. In most cases, they're designed to run on standard gear oil, and addition of friction modifier will actually degrade performance by reducing torque bias. Where you do see friction modifier added is when a torsion limited slip is used in a front axle, like on a Raptor. Now, locking differentials are often grouped in with limited slips, but they operate differently. Units like the Eaton M-Locker, commonly referred to as a gov lock, use a mechanical locking mechanism that engages with a 100 RPM difference wheel to wheel to drive both axle shafts together. These are not limited slip differentials in the traditional term, and servicing them like one could cause problems. Incorrect fluid choice can lead to harsh engagement, delayed locking, or noise complaints. Now, once you know what type of differential you're working on, the next decision is fluid. This is where most service mistakes happen. A lot of technicians see the words limited slip compatible or something like that on the bottle and assume they are safe. That assumption is what leads to noise complaints and comebacks. If you're working on a clutch type limited slip differential, the fluid choice will make all the difference in operation. As we talked about earlier, these units rely on friction plates to transfer torque, and the fluid's friction characteristics directly affect how these clutches engage. Many OE applications require a specific gear oil that either contains a modifier already or calls for a separate additive. If there's not enough modifier, the clutches grab too aggressively, and you can get that chatter on turns. Too much modifier and the clutches slip too easily, reducing the effectiveness of the diff and accelerating wear. Also, it's important to know if the carrier in the vehicle is OE or aftermarket. Many aftermarket limited slip differentials require non-synthetic GL5. Many synthetic fluid options are not compatible with aftermarket clutches, even with the correct modifier installed. If a vehicle comes back with chatter after a fluid change, the fluid choice should be the first thing you recheck before condemning the differential. Gear type or helical limited slip differentials are another story. These units, again, do not use clutch packs, so they typically are not going to require the friction modifiers at all. In most cases, just a standard GL5 gear oil in the correct viscosity and without the modifier is all that is required. Adding that modifier to these units actually reduces torque bias and performance. This is where the phrase LSD fluid can get technicians into trouble, because not all limited slip differentials are designed to work with the same additives. Locking differentials are another area where mistakes are common. Units like the GovLock are often treated like traditional limited slips, like we talked about a few minutes ago, but they are not the same internally. These differentials mechanically lock under certain driving conditions or are activated by the driver, and incorrect fluid choice can often affect how smoothly and reliably the locking mechanism engages. Some locking differentials allow for friction modifiers, while others do not. The only safe approach is to follow the OE fluid specifications for that axle or from the aftermarket manufacturer. When you're servicing an OE limited slip differential, the fluid specification is usually very specific for a reason. The clutch materials, preload, and internal characteristics were engineered around a very particular fluid characteristic. Substituting a different fluid or adding additional modifier can quickly change how the differential behaves. Some limited slip units even require a short break-in procedure after service, such as slow figure eights in a parking lot, to ensure evenly distribution of additive throughout the clutches. Aftermarket differential units from manufacturers like Eaton or Yukon often use different clutch materials or different gear designs. The aftermarket manufacturer's fluid recommendation overrides the OE specification. Following the vehicle manufacturer's service information, such as using synthetic fluids instead of the differential manufacturer's guidance, can lead to chatter, reduced lockup, or limited slip action, or even premature wear. Listen, I know it sounds like I'm beating a dead horse, but what I hope you walk away with today is the need for verification. If the differential is OE, follow the OE service information exactly. If it's aftermarket, follow the differential manufacturer's instructions, even if they conflict with the OE recommendation. Taking a few extra minutes to identify what you're working on or having a conversation with the customer if you're not sure can save you hours of rework and prevent costly comebacks.